Let me ask you, have you had relational conflict this week? Has there been someone you loved, that you cared about, that you've had beef with? That they said the wrong thing or you said the wrong thing? Maybe at best it was just miscommunication. You were speaking the same language, but you weren't saying the same thing. Maybe at worst there were harsh words, things that were said that caused you to get defensive. And so then you said some stuff. And then all of a sudden they said some stuff. And then all of a sudden it just continues to escalate and escalate until pretty soon you're not sure why you got married and you let her know that you don't like her mom very much. This is not personal testimony Sunday. I'm sorry. That's not true. What do you do in the midst of that conflict? What's going to happen when the words that come out of your mouth are harsh and cruel? And they echo Genesis 11. They create chaos and confusion and division. Where can you go? What can you do? This is the beauty of the practical outworking of the gospel of Christ. Is that if Christ is able to reconcile us to God, whom we have infinitely offended more possibly than we can be offended or we can offend someone else. If Christ's blood can reconcile us to God, then it has the power to reconcile us one to another. Because when I'm sinned against, I have the gracious freedom to look at the cross and say that justice has been served. That sin that's been committed against me, that someone has paid the penalty for it. Someone has been beaten for it. Someone has bled for what's been done to me. And I don't need to exact justice in my own strength, but rather I can extend mercy. Because the second thing happens when I go to that cross is I recognize that not only have I been sinned against, but guess what? I'm also a great sinner. I'm not only offended, but I am also an offender. And that Christ died not just for the sins that have been committed against me, but for the sins that I've committed. And he extended mercy and grace to me so that I might now be an agent of peace and mercy toward others. Because we are being built into a holy temple in the Lord through his indwelling Spirit. Because he has reconciled us to himself, we can be reconciled to one another.